Actually, Faire Wynds started out 15 years ago as an experiment into folk music. Since then, it has turned into Faire Wynds Circus, which is an 18th century based on the early American circuses that were traveling the frontier. They were usually families. In our case, it's myself, my wife Susan, we refer to as Penelope, our son Corwin the So-So, and our daughter Zilla, or Virginia, as she's known everywhere outside of the circle. It also covers the 19th century with the Professor Chalmers Bodkin's amazing patent medicine and magic show and flea circus, and also the early traveling family troops of the medieval times. Everything we do is based upon what was actually done. Because we're dealing with a modern audience, we do have to present it in more of a modern way than most historical reenactments would think. You would think of. Everything must be period, but no one understands where we're coming from. So we have to take what they were doing and give it enough of an enjoyment that the modern audience will understand it, and leave with not only a bit of history, because everything that we do, we explain the history as we go, and also enjoying it as well. Well, the first thing you do is you go to college, and you get the most useless degree that you can have. Everyone says, oh, that's English Lit. No, actually, it's opera performance. But that led into the singing, the study of the music, the entertainments of the time. I apprenticed as a blacksmith in a 19th century village, and he got me started into doing some reenactments as a singer, as a balladeer. More research showed that there were very few balladeers, very few musicians. Most of the entertainers were jacks of all trades. So the prestidigitation, we even do puppets. We don't tell everybody that anymore. The curiosities, all of that stems from what the traveling troops were doing. Our job is twofold. It's both to educate and entertain, and that is our focus. When we come to an event, we do kind of a mix between first and third person, again, because we must tell them where it comes from. If I were doing it in the 18th century to an 18th century audience, our 30-minute shows would take about an hour and a half, because they would have gone about 3.5 hours. We can do 5 if we need to. At their pacing, it would turn into about 9.5. People aren't going to sit for that. Again, we have to explain everything. Everything, something that everyone would have seen, the cups and balls, which are familiar today, people don't realize is the oldest continuing magic trick is 2,800 years old, and we explain that going in. Matthew Buchinger made his living in the 18th century doing just this. So we explain this, and then we present it, again, in a way that they enjoy it, but still, this is what they were doing, this is what we were using. Our costuming is the same. Our costuming is a bit outlandish in times, but the triangles were the hallmark of the entertaining troops. And even though it was on the frontier, their costuming was more elaborate, more outlandish, because it got your attention, just like today. Entertainments do not change. Well, it would be easier for me to say that anywhere there was 100 people, we would probably show up. The best example I can give, in 1790, Louisville, Kentucky, is a population of 110 people. There is a small traveling troupe comes through, and they display a zebra and a zebra and a lion. The giraffe had died in Cincinnati the year before, which would have been 1798. Cincinnati wasn't founded until 1797.